One is Padma Puran. Have you heard about Padma Puran? And that is Skanda Puran. So in both these scriptures, there is a very detailed elaboration of the merits and the benefits that one gets in this month of Kartik. It is said that Kartikam khalu vaimasam sarvamaseshu chottamam punyanam paramam punyam pavananam cha pavanam. So this month Kartika now, Khalovaya Masam. Khalovaya means indeed, amongst all the months, Sarva Masheshu Chottamam. This is the best, this is the most rewarding month amongst the 12 months. How is it so? Because it is Punya now. It bestows the highest benefits. And it is the Paramam. Paramam means which is the best. And what is the effort? What is the result? Is Punya. Whatever we do, it will be pious credits. And it is Pavanana. Pavan means it is purifying. So what it purifies us from? All sins. All sinful tendencies. So Kartik is the best of the month, the most pious of pious deeds, the most purifying of all that purify. So we must observe, I mean, in the entire year, we may have not done much devotional service or devotional practice. You've heard that when I used to come to Delhi in my childhood time, when I was at the age of our youngest candidate. So whenever there was vacations in the summer, my mother's mother, they used to stay in Delhi and we were in Varanasi. So as soon as there was summer vacation, we would come for almost a month here to Delhi. And when we were approaching Delhi, on the track side, there are walls. And on the walls, there are write-ups. What is we say, advertisements previously. I'm talking about 30, 40 years back. Please be seated. So that advertisement said that those who have failed in 10th, they can become graduates. Did you ever see such? Those who have failed in 12th, they can become postgraduates. So I was thinking, I was single child, then why I have to study? If without studying, if even by failing, one can become, then that name was given, that please contact us. I mean, these are all fraud. But this is actual. One who has failed the entire year in not being able to wake up early, one who has not performed any devotional service, one who has not done any tapasya. So he has the opportunity in this month that even though he has failed throughout the year, if he performs it now, he can get the full benefit. Like we have Nirjala Ekadashi. You know Nirjala Ekadashi? If you perform this single Ekadashi once, you get the merit of all the Ekadashis. So similarly, this month is so the best of the month. It is so powerful. It is so purifying that whoever observes this month for little devotion, he can get the maximum highest benefit. Na Kartika samo masa, na Kritena samam yugam, na Veda sadrisham shastram, na Tirtham Gangaya samam. So there is no comparison to any other month as compared to this month of Kartik. As the age of Satya, Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga people had long life, disease-free life, and the quality of life was much improved. And there cannot be any comparison to any scriptures as compared to Vedas. And amongst all the places of pilgrimage, one of the best places of pilgrimage is where there is Ganga. So similarly, no month is like Kartik, as No yuga is like Satyuga, or no scripture is like the Vedas, and the holy place like Ganga. So Kartik is the best of the month, and Kartik is very dear to the Vaishnavas. Why? Vaishnava means one who is the follower of Lord Vishnu. Because Srimati Radharani is the most dearest to Krishna. And Srimati Radharani gives the maximum mercy. She is the personification of mercy. And this month is the manifestation of Srimati Radharani's mercy. So if one performs even a slightest bit of devotional service, Srimati Radharani recommends that person to Krishna, that you please accept it. So that is the great merit. How many of you have performed Deepdan? Are you performing Deepdan? This is the month for performing Deepdan. By your response, it is thinking that you are hearing for the first time. आपने पहले सुना नहीं दीपदान करने का इस मंथ में? किया नहीं किसी ने? हाँ? अब डोलावरी आपने वहां पे दीपदान का सिस्टम रखा है नहीं रखा है? रखा है। तो सबके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है। आप हमारे सात्विक मेस में आइए, वहां पे यशोदा दामोदर का पिक्चर है और वहां पे दीप भी है। आपको बस खाली आना है और भगवान को ऑफर करना है। भगवान भगवत गीता में बोलते हैं, जब हम 10th वर्ष में जाएंगे, तेषामेवानुकंपार्थम, वर्ष नंबर है 10, 12, 10, 11, 10, 11. That Krishna says that Tesham eva nukampartam aham ajnana jamatam nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepenam bhasvata. So आपको क्या कर रहा है? एक छोटा सा दीपक जलाना और भगवान को ऑफर करना, और बाकी सब भगवान करेंगे। क्या करेंगे? अनुकंपा। अनुकंपा, यू अंडरस्टैंड? इट्स वेरी वेरी स्पेशल mercy. So what he will do? He says that Tesham eva anukampartam. Krishna is dwelling where? In the heart. And where is the ignorance? In the heart. So the lamp that we offer to Krishna, with that offering, Krishna will be so pleased that with that lamp, whatever ignorance or darkness we have in our heart, Krishna will personally remove. He says, Tesham eva nashayami atma bhavasto. Jnana deepena bhasvata. So this is the month of receiving full mercy, profuse mercy. So every one of you must perform at least the offering of lamps. You must offer every day, all the 30 days, you should offer lamp to Srimati Radharani and Lord Shri Krishna. Tatreva dvadashe api maseshu Kartika Krishna Vallabha Tasmin Sampujito Vishnu Alpakerapi Upayana Dadati Vaishnavanam Lokam Iti Evam Nishchitam Maya. So in the Padma Puran, this verse says that of the 12 months, Dwadasha means 12 months, Kartik is the most dear to Lord Krishna. What is the other name of Kartik month? It is Krishna Vallabha. Vallabha means which is very dear. Jai Radha Madhav Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha. Krishna is also known as Gopi Jana. He is dear to Gopis and the Gopas both. So similarly, this month Kartik is very dear to Krishna. And anyone who even slightly worships Lord Vishnu in this month of Kartik, Krishna gave residence in his transcendental abode to such a practitioner. That is the greatest merit one can have. So, at least 5 things we should try to do in this month. There is great merit. The first thing is to wake up early. How much early? To wake up in Brahma Muhurat. As early as possible. How will it be possible to wake up early? There is space here. You can come in front. Take the seats here. Both of you boys sit in the back. Just sit in the back. नहीं आप लोग यहीं बैठे रहना. Anirudh, sit in the. Let's sit. So first thing and foremost thing is the great merit in this month of Kartik is to have early bath. So try to sleep early. There is no rocket science. Simple. Body needs full quota of rest. If you sleep late, what is the result? You wake up late. As simple as that. In our childhood, we used to recite early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, what we want to be? Huh? Late to bed and late to rise. What will a man become? Unhealthy, poor, and fool. And this principle will never change. So we have to try to remain at the level of our own benefit. It is said that if you sleep before 12, the quantum of sleep that you take before 12, it nourishes the body twice. Say if you sleep at 8, I know many devotees who sleep before 8, they are able to wake up by 12. That 4 hours of sleep is equal to 8 hours of sleep after 12. You try that. This is proven for everyone. Have you ever tried? Never tried? Try. Sometimes it happens. They were very exhausted. And you just, crash. And then you see next day. I mean, you feel such a, surcharge of energy in your body. Why? Because you have slept early. That as much late you sleep, as less the body gets the recuperation. It will not get recuperated. So best is to try to take at least quality sleep before 12. I know in our ashram there are many monks who practice it. I know one monk who has been doing it for so many years. He sleeps before 9 and every day he wakes up at 2. So 9 to 2 is how much? 5 hours? Sufficient. More than sufficient. Because 9 to 12 is almost like 6 hours. And 12 to 2 is another 2 hours. 8 hours body requires maximum. It is done. But if you sleep after 12, then you keep struggling. And the body gives so much trouble. So, very important aspect of Kartik is to take early bath. It is not that you have just woken up. And then what is the problem with us? We just keep lazing around. Or we just keep having rounds of tea. But in Kartik, what we have to do? We have to wake up and take early bath. Now it is not practical for us to go and take bath in Ganga. But whatever Ganga water is coming in our tap, try and be satisfied with that. So the very important aspect is early bath. We should take early bath. Wake up early and take bath. Second is to offer lamp to Krishna. This is very important. We must all offer lamp. This lamp is an offering of love. We discussed just few days back what Krishna says, whatever one offers with love and devotion, I accept. It is not to offer lamp with a list of demands or desires. देखो आज मैं आपको दिया दिखा रहा हूँ मेरी सारी इच्छाएं पूरी करो not like that. This is very important. And as possible, sing Damodar Ashtakam. The very beautiful prayers of Damodar Ashtakam. Krishna in his baby form, he performed this wonderful Leela. Where Mother Yashoda tried to tie him up. But every time she tried to tie him up, the rope kept 2 fingers short. So the entire rope of the entire village was consumed but all the ropes together were always 2 fingers short. And finally, when Krishna saw that Mother Yashoda is making so much of effort and she has become so fatigued and she is not giving up. So what Krishna did? Krishna gave up and he agreed to be tied. So that is called the Ukhal Bandhan Leela. You come to our temple, we have very beautiful deity of Yashoda Damodar. Every day we dress the deities, you know, there is very nice decoration of the deities. And it's a festival. Every evening in our temple, we have a festival. So, singing Damodar Ashtakam, offering lamb, waking up early, and very important is chanting. Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why do we chant? And why do people, fail to chant? Devotees want to chant, and those who are not yet devotees, they don't want to chant. Or they have so many reasons not to chant. Actually, what is chanting? Chanting is a prayer to Krishna and Srimati Radharani to engage us in their service. I'll give you one example. Okay. Many times you have seen beggars in the streets. So if a beggar sees someone who has some resource, what he does? He requests. Once, normally people keep silent. They don't respond. So he will ask again, second time, that please, Baba, kuch de do. But still if the response is, and there is no response. The third time, he will call out with more intensity. That say, since morning I am hungry. I didn't had the opportunity to eat something. Please be merciful. Please give something to me. And he'll keep repeating. And finally, what you will do? What you will do? You will say, "Lo, take it from me." Isn't it? If he does not ask, does he get? No. Similarly, if we do not chant, how we will get Krishna's love? And service means receiving love. This is the secret. If you go somewhere and he feeds you very well, he serves you very well, then what is your response? What is the natural response? What is the natural one? Do you want to reciprocate or not? Or you want to just, dine, have good time and leave? What do you do? What do you do? You ask him that I'm really thankful, I'm very grateful. You please tell me how can I reciprocate with you? That is what is human life, where there is some exchange of love and feeling. What is life without feeling? Then it is like a instrument. It is like a machine. Nowadays, people are like machine only. They don't have feelings. They don't have any reciprocative spirits. But it is not with Krishna. So we are requesting Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that please engage us in your loving service. Please engage our human form of life to perform some selfless service. So if one is asking, then what Krishna will do? He will make ways in our life so that we can perform service. So if we don't chant, then what remains in our life is only karma. Only karma. Whatever we have performed in the past life, according to that, we will have this life. And what we do in this life, we continue in the next life. So what we continue? We continue 4 things. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in this life. Or if we go into any other life. And what we receive? Birth, death, old age, and disease. So this cycle, this vicious cycle continues. Life after life, birth after birth, in human species and in other species. So how to break this circle? Is by becoming a devotee of Krishna. And how to become a devotee of Krishna? When we genuinely ask Krishna to engage in service. So in this month, if we pray, if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then who is the one who will give recommendation? Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani will tell Krishna that see, he is a nice devotee. He wants to serve you. So you please award him service. Krishna awards everything. but he does not avoid service easily. Because if we avoid service, then Krishna becomes subordinate to his servant. That is the secret. We will see what Krishna does to his servant. So very important that we should not miss this. Entire year we would be busy. Huh? Our mind, whatever, our spiritual master is one. You know who is our spiritual master? Our uncontrolled mind. And we are all slaves of our mind. Whatever the mind dictates or directs, what we do, yes, sir. Beyond that, we have nothing much to do. And our mind is so forceful, so impulsive, that he wants to just make us follow. And lifetimes after lifetimes, we have been following our mind. So this is one opportunity when we can follow Srimati Radharani and receive her blessing. The first thing is try to wake up early. To wake up early, you have to sleep early. Okay. Then second is offer lamp. Very important. Out of 100 things, at least this one thing must be offered. Try to offer lamp every day, every Kartik day, at least this 30 days. Then try to sing Damodar Ashtakam and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and try to study the Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. At least some 10 minutes, 15 minutes you must do it. So if you do these 5 things, you see how much mercy of Srimati Radharani and Krishna can come in our life. To what extent the mercy will come, that I will discuss from now. Okay, so I'll come to we are discussing 9th chapter. How many of you have come for the first time? Please raise your hand. Okay. You are here in IIR, right? Okay. So what are you, a scientist or you? Okay, so you have been hearing this series of Bhagavad Gita, Mantra of Life. Okay, good. So you know this 9th chapter that we are discussing. Yeah. This 9th chapter is actually the central part of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is presented in 18th chapter. So the 2 central chapters are the 9th and 10th. So among the central part of the Bhagavad Gita, the last portion of the 9th chapter and the beginning portion of the 10th chapter is the exact midpoint. So this is the most confidential part of Bhagavad Gita which Krishna is revealing. So we saw from the verse 26 where Krishna is saying that as compared to any other demigod worship of Krishna is very simple. How one can worship Krishna? Just by offering a flower, a fruit, by offering water, patram pushpam phalam toyam. And Krishna will receive it, accept it, reciprocate. And Krishna also said in the 29th verse that Krishna is equal to all. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. He is equal because as a super soul residing in the heart, he is equal to everyone. He does not favor anyone or he does not envy anyone. But in the next line, Krishna says that whoever is a devotee who performs devotional service, who renders service to me, Krishna says, he is in me and I am in him. That means I am his friend and he is also a friend too. So Krishna has very special relationship with such a person. How is he a friend? You know, you have heard the saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. आपने सुना है जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब कुछ मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा. लोग गाते हैं लेकिन मिलता नहीं. मिलता है? नहीं मिलता. क्या मिलता है? धोखा. लेकिन कृष्णा जो बोलते हैं तो देखिए भगवद गीता में क्या बोलते हैं. वर्स नंबर 30. अपि चेदसि दुराचारो भजन्ते मामनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यक् व्यवस्थितो हि स अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यक व्यवस्थितो हि सा। आपको नहीं मिला वो वर्स, प्लीज गिव हिम, प्लीज गिव हिम। Anyone who has not found the verse, this is the 9th chapter and 30th verse. The page number is 436. In my book it is 436. Huh? So anyone who has not found it, please let us know. We'll make you see the verse. So Krishna is saying that one who is performing devotional service, one who is in this material world, this material world is compared to the place where at every step there is danger. Padam padam yad vibhadam natesha. There can be accidents at any step. In this world, do you know anything for sure? We don't know anything. Anything can happen at any time. Everything is unforeseen, unpredictable. So Krishna says that api chedasu durachara. Durachar means abominable. Sadachar means good behavior. And durachar means bad behavior. So Krishna is saying that even if one commits the most abominable action, so many actions which are prohibited are all abominable. Bhajate mam ananyabhag. But on the other hand, he continues to perform bhajan. What is bhajan? Bhajan he is performing devotional service. But what kind of devotional service? This is very important to be understood. Ananya bhag. Ananya means that without any deviation. So such a person, even if he commits some abominable act or something which is not a good behavior, but his devotion and his devotional service remains very fixed or steady. So such a person, Krishna, how Krishna considers him, this is very important. What others consider, that is not very, important. What Krishna considers, Krishna says, sadhu reva samantavya. I consider such a devotee still to be a sadhu. Sadhu reva samantavya. Why? Because he is samyak vyavasthito hisa. Samyak means he is perfectly situated or he is properly situated. What is the situation which is proper? In his determination. So Krishna does not abandon. This is very, very hope-giving verse. That once a devotee of Krishna is always a devotee of Krishna. Krishna is not like any other relative or any other relation. Where something you do, which is by accident or any fault, then what people do? Abandon. Leave them. Krishna never abandons any of his devotees, ever. This is what Krishna is declaring here. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So this is very, very important. So this is Krishna's reciprocation with this devotee. This is the most confidential part. जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, जब सब बात बिगड़ जाए, जब सारी मुश्किल एक साथ आ जाए, तो कौन साथ देंगे? कृष्ण साथ देंगे. कहाँ कहा है? भगवत गीता में भगवान डिक्लेयर कर रहे हैं. So Bhagavad Gita is a book of declarations, bold declaration. Krishna is giving declaration to what extent he can extend for his devotees. The word sudurachar used in this verse is very significant. And we should understand it properly. Prabhupada is cautioning us. When a living entity is conditioned, he has two kinds of activities. One is conditional and the other is constitutional. So, see, what is conditioning? Conditioning means that we are in this body. We consider ourselves to be body, matter. So, what kind of activity we perform? Which is conditioned. What condition means? That which is with the subject of three moods: Sattva, Rajas, and Tama. So these three modes are influencing everyone. Tribir Gun Mai Bhave, Evi Sarvam Idam Jagat. Krishna has already spoken about it in the 7th chapter, 13th verse. That the influence of three modes is there on everyone. Tribir Gun Mai Bhave, Evi Sarvam Idam Jagat. No one is spared. So that is conditioned. Those who are in Sattva Gun, their conditioning is what? That they are very pious. Sattvic, yes, very good. Yeah, they are they do not engage in any abominable activity. They do not cheat. They do not speak lies. Yeah. And those who are in Rajogun, they are always craving for fulfilling their material desires. And those who are in Tamogun, they are very lazy and very crazy. So everyone is in this world, everyone's behavior is different. What is the criteria? Depending on what is the influence of the mode on it. And what determines mode? One's actions, one's diet, and one's association. Three things, very important. Krishna reveals that. When we come later, it will come. So here Prabhupada is saying, so in this world when we are, so we have conditioned nature because of the influence of the three modes. But also we have the constitutional nature. What is the constitutional nature? Nature of the soul, which is beyond the nature of the three modes. But in present stage, what is dominant? What is prominent? Conditioned stage. Constitutional stage is covered. It is covered. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of the society and state, certainly there are different activities, even for the devotees. So what we have to do? We have to follow them. Like we are living in India, so even what devotees they have to follow, whatever is the law, rules and regulations of the country we have to follow. We have to follow the constitution. So such activities are called conditional. Besides this, the living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. So if we go beyond the body and we perform according to the directions of the Supreme Lord or his representatives, then those actions are taking us beyond the influence of the three modes. So these are called transcendental. One is conditioned and the other is transcendental. So one is bondage. Condition means bondage. What is that bondage? Who is bound? The soul is bound. Like in the present stage, our soul is bound. Right or no? We don't know about soul. Do we know? We have no cognizance of that we are spirit soul. What is our identity? Body or our mind, which is constantly changing. The body is constantly changing and the mind is constantly changing. But still we feel proud to identify ourselves with body and mind. So this is the conditioned nature. This is the conditioning or this is the bondage. And what is the transcendental nature? It is liberating. What gets liberated? The soul. From where? From the bondage. When we perform spiritual activity or devotional activity. So such activities are performed in this constitutional position and they are technically called devotional service. So why we chant? We chant to perform devotional service. If we don't ask, if we don't beg, we will never get. What we will keep performing? We will only keep performing conditional activity. So lifetime after lifetime, what will be the result? Bondage. And this is such an invisible bond, which is not visible. आपको दिखाई दे रहा है? How the soul is bound. But can you find anyone in this world, any doctor, any consultant, any scientist who can unlock the soul? No one. No one can do that. No one has any clue. So now in the conditioned state, sometimes devotional service and the conditional service in relation to the body will parallel one another. Yeah. But then again, sometimes these activities become opposed to one another. Many times people have this doubt that you are asking us to do devotional service. But if I do devotional service, then what will happen to my occupational duty? Occupational duty, you understand? That is there for maintenance. Maintenance of self and maintenance of dependence. No, it is like parallel track. If you try to run the train on one track, what will happen? It will fall, it will have accident. So many times people have this misconception, or they say how to balance both, how to balance spiritual life and material life. No, it can never be balanced. There will always be an imbalance. Why? Because we are trying to make a false balance. Material life is by default. Why? Because we are in this material world. We are in this material body. We are within the enforces of three modes. So we are in this material world within material boundaries. But if we perform spiritual activity, what we do, we convert the reaction of material activity to go beyond and become transcendental, which will liberate us. So Prabhupada is explaining here that sometimes these activities becomes opposed to one another. As far as possible, a devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome condition. He knows that perfection in his activity depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, however, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some act which has to be taken as most abominable, socially or politically. So it is like, those who are on the spiritual path, they are having a war. War against whom? Against the three modes, against the influence of Krishna's illusionary energy. And when you are in war, sometimes what will happen? The opponent will also hit you, strike you, or injure you, or do some damage to you. So a devotee is very cautious not to allow the material energy to overpower. But at some times it happens due to previous impressions or previous samskars. He felt allured or he fell victim to the influence of the illusionary energy. So in such a situation, what he does something which is abominable, socially or politically. I'll give you some example to understand this point what Krishna is explaining. Like those who are in the devotee community now, but most of us were not born devotees. We were like all other people. We were practicing what others are practicing. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Trying to enjoy life, make wealth. So, we had previous habits, and habits have very strong influence. So, in a foreign country, Prabhupada gave the opportunity to everyone, whether he was in whatever position, become a devotee and practice Krishna consciousness. So they were all meat eaters, drinkers, womanizer, gamblers, everything, coming from all types of this abominable activities. So even after becoming devotee, what happens is the previous impressions which are there in our heart, what it does, it many times it enforces us, it pulls us. So one book distributor, he distributed a lot of books, Bhagavad Gita, and when he was returning back, he saw a liquor store. And he had a lot of money. So as he saw the liquor, he saw there is no one. Seeing from the temple here. Says, and every time he used to pass the liquor store, his mind used to give him a recall that this one is the good Johnny Walker or something. Today you should taste it. So what he was saying, no, nonsense. Huh? This is all nonsense. This is coming from my satin mind. This is what the Lord forbid. When he made Adam and Eve, he said, do not hear the Saturn. He forbid, don't hear the Saturn. And what Adam did, he did exactly what the Lord forbid. Because so that day he thought that today I must, take a try. So then he almost walked to the liquor store. And when he walked to the liquor store, he saw another devotee coming from the other side. And he said, Arey, where are you going? He said, no, I am going to the temple. So, like, how you have come here to the liquor store? Well, I came here to distribute Bhagavad Gita. I came to give the liquor person Bhagavad Gita. Who rescued him? Krishna. By sending a devotee at the same time, appropriate time, exact time. So he could not fulfill his mind's desire, and he was rescued. In our life, most of the time we will see, when we end up doing something very abominable, later we have so much of regret and so much of pain in our heart. But at that point of time, there was something very, very forceful in our mind or in our heart which made us perform that act. And for that act, we remain ashamed entire life. So Krishna says, even if my devotee commits anything abominable, I don't give him up. If he does not give my bhajan up, if he does not give up my service, and if he is properly fixed with determination to perform the service, that is what bhajate mam ananya bhav. It is not that exam aa gaya hai, chanting 4 round karte the, abhi 2 kar rahe. This is not ananya bhav. बीमार हो गए हैं तो प्रभु जी भगवत गीता पढ़नी बंद हो गई है, एग्जाम आ गया है तो सेवा बंद हो गई है. That is not ananya bhav. Ananya bhav means without deviation, without distraction. That means one is properly situated, one is fixed in his service. So for such a person, Krishna says, I consider him sadhu. Even if he considers something, some accident happens, or some abominable thing he performs, I don't abandon him. I don't give him up. So this is very, very sweet reciprocation of the Lord. This you will not find anywhere in this world. Every relationship in this world is based on some interest. And to the extent the interest is being, active, the relationship works. And as soon as there is some difference in the interest, but Krishna says, once my, of course, if he remains adamant, Krishna never gives up. The Prabhupada says here that if a person, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if a person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord being situated within the heart, purifies him and excuses him from that abomination. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. Ensnared by what? By the illusionary energy. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. So there is no failure in Krishna consciousness. There is only success. But what we have to do? We have to be very determined. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall from the ideal path. For as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall down will be stopped in due course as soon as the devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. So there are two things. One is to be Krishna conscious, and the other is to be engaged in devotional service. So what it means to be Krishna conscious? Anyone? Any idea what it means to be Krishna conscious? Our society is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. When Prabhupada was establishing the society in 1966, in New York. So at that time, some of his well-wishers, they said, Swamiji, in America, no one knows Krishna. If you name the society as Society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, who will understand your society? So you should name the society International Society for God Consciousness. Prabhupada said, no. No. Why? Because people do not know who is God. They label anyone and everyone as God. So I want people to know who is the Supreme God, that is Krishna. And you know now, everyone in the world knows this God. There is no country, there is no city in the world where you don't find ISKCON devotees, ISKCON centers, ISKCON Bhagavad Gita. The Prabhupada established very emphatically that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Shri Krishna. So that the ambiguity in the people will be removed. So what it means to be Krishna conscious? What is the understanding or idea? बताइए. आप सबको हम यहाँ इसीलिए लेके आते हैं. यहाँ आके इसीलिए ये चर्चा करते हैं ताकि हम क्या हो सके, कृष्ण भावित हो सके, कृष्ण भावना भावित हो सके. We all can become Krishna conscious. What it means to be Krishna conscious? When can we say that we are Krishna conscious? Very simple. Have tried? There is no harm in trying. Unless and until you try, how there will be success. What it means to be Krishna conscious? Speak in the mic, everyone can hear.
It means that we have to begin about the existence of God, and we have to accept this.
No, it is not forceful. It is not that you have to accept. There is no such condition. It is the state of awakening. It is the state of awakening when we gradually realize that who we are, that we are beyond this body and mind. Who we are spirit soul. And Krishna is the Supreme Spirit. And there is the relationship between the individual spirit and the Supreme Spirit. And that relationship is eternal. When one comes to that level of understanding, then the person has become conscious. Means what? Aware, awake, informed, enlightened. About whom? About our relationship with Krishna. That state is called Krishna consciousness. So how, to what extent we are Krishna conscious? In percentage terms? 10%, 20%, 50%, or 100%? How much is the percentage level? Huh? Why? That is not expected. When Krishna is giving so much of opportunity to be Krishna conscious, he is given so much opportunity in this life or not? And how can you say? If your exams passing mark is 50 and you say I will score 0.5, then how much please your teacher will be? What has he done? And what have you done? Then how many lifetimes you will take? Why not finish the business in one lifetime? You see, that is why Krishna is calling in Bhagavad Gita. He is saying, Sruhidam Sarva Bhutanam. How is Sruhidam Sarva Bhutanam? Here he is revealing. Sadhu Reva Samantavya. Entire world will say he is a thief, he is a criminal, he is a murderer. But Krishna will not say that. What will Krishna say? He is sadhu. Who else can say that? No one can say that. So this is Krishna's eternal friendship. This is Krishna's love. This is Krishna's mercy. So who is that person who will not want such a friend to be with? And the most powerful person in the entire creation. He is the creator. And he is willing to be friend. And he is willing to call us sadhu if we become his practicing devotee. So and the second part is, as we become Krishna conscious, to the extent we become Krishna conscious, what we perform is devotional service. This is parallel. Both are parallel. To the extent we become Krishna conscious, to that extent we engage in devotional service. To the extent we engage in devotional service, to that extent we advance in becoming Krishna consciousness. There is no end to it. There is no end to it. So to the extent one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service, Krishna considers that person to always be his devotee, sadhu. And he never gives up such a devotee. Even if that devotee by accident or due to some situation or circumstances, even if he happens to perform most abominable action. Krishna does not judge a person because of one fault or one wrongdoing. Krishna always gives advantage. This is what Krishna is explaining here in this verse. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. You know how many examples? So many examples. Vishwamitra, who became ensnared by whom? Menaka. So many rishis, yogis. One tinkling of the bell, ankle bell, and tapasya bell. But for a devotees, Krishna protects. They were yogis. They were doing it on the power of their own control of mind and senses. So Krishna does not interfere. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall down will be stopped in due course. As soon as the devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. Completely situated means he is completely cognizant of his own existence and also the existence of the Supreme Lord and their relationship. Like husband and wife relationship, mother and daughter relationship, or father and son relationship. Similarly, we have relationship with the Supreme Lord. And this worldly relationship only exists till the time body exists. Right or wrong? Before body, was there any relationship? And after the body is terminated, will there be a relationship? But this relationship with Supreme Lord is eternal because the relationship is of the spirit soul, which is eternal. Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, should be considered to be in transcendental position. This is the secret. Those who are constantly chanting, those who are continuously chanting. For them, even if by chance or accident he is found to have fallen, the word sadhu rev, he is saintly, are very emphatic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly, even if he has accidentally fall down. And the word mantavya is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and derides the devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is disobeying the order of the Supreme Lord. Then what the Supreme Lord will do? He will reward you. What he will do? He will punish you. Punish you. The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. This is very important. The devotional service, because it revives our eternal nature, it has to be done unflinchingly. Unflinchingly means without any interruptions, without any deviations. Like for the body, how many of you eat, few times a day? Everyone. Do we say that हमने कल बहुत खा लिया, अभी 2 दिन नहीं खाएंगे? प्रभु जी कल बहुत चैंटिंग हो गई, अभी 2 दिन नहीं हुई. Chanting is food for the soul. In the Narsimha Purana, the following statement is given. भगवती हरो अनन्य चेता भिषामालिनो अपि विरजते मनुष्यः नाही सास कल कलुषा च भी कदाचित् तिमिरा Parabhavantam upeti chandraha. The meaning is that even if one is fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities. These activities should be considered to be like the spots that resemble the mark of the rabbit on the moon. Very beautiful. Uh, Prabhupada is giving this explanation that many times we see the full moon. And in the full moon, what we get? We get such soothing and cooling moonshine and the moon rays. But sometimes when we see on the moon, what we find? We find some spot. Everyone compares the beauty of the moon with the beauty of the person to glorify him. But some also find some spots on the moon. So does it diminish the beauty of the moon? No. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of a saintly character does not make him abominable. So Krishna is very, very forgiving. On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service can act in all kinds of abominability. This is a warning. It does not give us, the right to do all nonsense. No. It is only when there is accidents, when there is no such deliberation or planning. It has happened accidentally. This verse only refers to accident due to strong power of material connection. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusionary energy. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusionary energy, there may be accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as previously explained. No one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be understood that he is not a high devotee. So the most important thing of a devotee is that in his heart, what he has this repentance, very strong feeling of repentance. Repentance, you understand? Pashyatap. As soon as he does something which is contrary to what he should not be doing, in his heart, what comes? Repentance. And in that repentance of fire, Krishna forgives. Okay? So what is the time? Is 9. So anyway, never mind. We discussed one verse. Very important verse. This verse gives so many dimensions and so many, new facets it adds into our life. That the relationship, if we develop with Krishna, Krishna never gives up. Even if we do something abominable, most abominable. Api chetsu durachar. The most abominable thing one may do, but still Krishna will not give us up. He will give us a second chance if we are properly situated in devotional service. So what we should give up? We should give up everything else, but we should always become fixed in devotional service. Because if we do that, then Krishna's promise is there, emphatic promise is there, Krishna's assurance is there. He will not allow that accidental fall down to degrade us. Okay. So I'll stop here. And from your side, any question, any doubt, or any challenge? So please bring up. But please try to follow Karthik. This is the very, very surcharged month with devotion. बोलिए Even your son is silent today. Where is he? Oh, not well. What happened? He's having fever, cold. Uh, this time winter seems to be coming early. Yes, yes, Dinesh.
This verse number 24 of the 9th chapter.
Man mana bhav mad bhakta.
And then in 18th chapter 65, they are the same.
Yeah. They're not the same actually.
The last of they are slightly different, but
Yeah, but the message is the same.
this is
Krishna recommends to 4 things. First thing he says, mat mana, that you engage your mind in me. Where is our mind engaged? Everywhere else apart from Krishna. This is the most difficult thing to do. To engage the mind. Krishna, mat mana. Who can engage the mind in Krishna? Become my devotee, mad bhakto. Devotee means what? Devotee means that his attention is towards Krishna. Non-devotee means what? His attention is never on Krishna. This is the essential difference. So how to engage our mind in Krishna? When we become Krishna's devotee. So how to become Krishna's devotee? Krishna gives very simple formula. He says Madhyaji. Madhyaji means that you worship. Worship means what? Not just by offering lamb. That is the external level of worship. But what is the higher level of worship? Worship means to follow. To follow Krishna's guidelines or to follow Krishna's interest. Like a student comes in your class. सर मैं आपकी बहुत रेस्पेक्ट करता हूँ, बहुत रेस्पेक्ट करता हूँ. जो आप असाइनमेंट देते हैं वो कभी करके आता नहीं, क्लास में कभी बैठता नहीं, एग्जाम में कुछ करता नहीं. सर मैं आपकी बहुत रेस्पेक्ट करता हूँ. हाउ मच नंबर्स यू विल गिव? हाउ मच यू विल पास इट? Who are we fooling? Apart from our own self, can we fool anyone else? So Krishna gives this formula, Madhyaji, worship me. At least worship me means whom do we worship? Whom we consider superior, whom we consider better, whom we consider authority. So how to become a devotee? If we start considering Krishna our authority. If we start considering Krishna our master. If we start considering Krishna our friend, then at least we will follow him. We have to hear him. And after hearing, when we are convinced, you see, we should be so convinced. Who will have? Do we have any friend in this world? Somebody has murdered. बोले तुम मर्डर कर दोस्त हो, तुम भी मर्डर हो. मेरा कहाँ दोस्त है वो? मेरी तो दोस्ती उससे कभी की छूट गई. मैं तो उससे 2 साल से मिला नहीं. True or false? But Krishna says, sadhureva samantavya. And he says that if other people call him murderer, then I will not spare them. This is actually friendship. So Madhyaji, worship me. And how to start worshipping? Mam namaskuru. At least offer obeisance to. Bow down to. So if you take it reversively, offer obeisances to Krishna, worship Krishna, become Krishna's devotee, and engage your mind in Krishna. These are the 4 things. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. This is the sum and substance that we have to do. We have to engage. But how to engage the mind, which is higher? Mayi eva manadhatsava, mayi buddhi niveshya. Nivashyashi mayi eva, atha urdham na sanshaya. How to do that? How to come to that elevated platform? First, offer obeisances. भगवान को प्रणाम करिए. आप देखते हैं इस्कॉन में जैसे प्रणाम करते हैं हम लोग, आप लोग नहीं करते. करते हैं? बहुत कम लोग करते हैं, नहीं करते हैं. क्या आती है बीच में? क्या 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 रुकावट है? रुकावट क्या है? ईगो. ईगो. हम क्यों झुके कृष्ण के सामने? कृष्ण झुके हमारे सामने. तो ये 4 फॉर्मूला दिया कृष्ण कि first by offering obeisances, then actually worshipping him by heart. Worshipping him heart because you become his devotee. And when you become his devotee, automatically your mind will be engaged where? Towards Krishna. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. 4 things we have to learn. We have to do. So physical is body. Then higher than that is the mind. And then higher than that is the heart connection. So Krishna is giving progression. What is easy? प्रणाम करना सरल है, ठीक है, गए सामने प्रणाम कर दिया. वर्शिप करना थोड़ा और, उसके लिए और कमिटमेंट चाहिए, और डेडिकेशन चाहिए, है ना. और फिर उसके डिवोटी बन गए तो फिर डेविएशन नहीं हो सकता, डिवोशनल सर्विस करेंगे. रोज सुबह उठेंगे, हमें कोई बोलता है सुबह उठो? कोई नहीं बोलता. मैं घर में जाता हूँ तो मेरी माता जी बोलती है तुम तो रात में उठ जाते हो. उनकी सुबह 4 बजे रात ही होती है. हम अगर 3 बजे के बाद भी उठते तो हमें लगता है हमको लेट हो गई. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? हमारा जो कंसेप्शन है, कौन सा कंसेप्शन आ गया है अभी? मटेरियल कंसेप्शन आ गया है, उसको चेंज करना है. कहां से चेंज करना है? भगवत गीता के कंसेप्शन. भगवत गीता के कंसेप्शन. तो भगवान कह रहे हैं मध्याजी माम नमस्करो मद भक्ता. भगवान तो इन्विटेशन दे रहे हैं, अब हमारे ऊपर हम कितना स्वीकार करें. तो एटलीस्ट इस मंथ में तो स्वीकार कर लीजिए, इस मंथ में स्वीकार कर लीजिए और पूरा इसका लाभ लीजिए. ठीक है, धन्यवाद. हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू ऑल वेरी मच. आप सबके लिए एक बहुत अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है. हम लोग जाएंगे ब्रज यात्रा में, हम हर साल जाते हैं, लेकिन IRI से बहुत कम ही लोग आ पाते हैं. पता नहीं क्यों नहीं आ पाते. और हम जाएंगे ऐसे समय में कि जब आप आ सकें. 24th, 25th and 26th of this month, where festivals will be over, Diwali will be done, and 25th and 26th is Saturday and Sunday. So we are having 3 days of full Braj Yatra. So everyone is invited. Whoever wants to come is invited, can come and join us and see what is the spiritual life for 3 days. You can experience that what it means to be a Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. For 3 days, I can guarantee you, your mind will be engaged in Krishna. We will see to it that your mind will be engaged in Krishna. We will be hearing Krishna Katha. We will be going to the places where Krishna performed his Leelas. And we will be doing so much of bhajan and kirtan and a lot of prasadam and a lot of fun. There is a little charge. It is only that the person who is going, he pays his own expense. He does not share anyone else's expense. Okay, that's the offer. This time, one day we are going to Gokul, where Krishna performed Damodar Leela. We will do Dubdan at that same place where Krishna performed that Leela. And we will also visit many other pastime places of Krishna. Next day we will be in Vrindavan. And third day we will be in Govardhan. So it is fully packed 3 days of full spiritual experience. Thank you all very much. And please, this is time for Krishna Prasad. All of you, please have Krishna Prasad. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And tomorrow, those students who are, going for you, yeah, I'm registered. So you all assemble and come in time. Dashil, I have brought dhoti kurta, so please